It's 2:47 a.m., fluorescent lights buzzing like angry hornets, and I'm slamming my laptop shut after reading the email. My mentee, Rachel, just locked in an $85,000 retention bonus, while I, the one who wrote her performance reviews, get $25,000. Enough. I grab my coat, hit the elevator, and walk out into the dawn, career in tatters. But what happened next? It wasn't downfall, it was detonation. Hi, I'm Sophia, and this is Sophia's Stories. My affinity for mentoring, and the blind spots it bred, took root in the rolling hills of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where I grew up the middle kid in a sprawling farmhouse family of 5. Dad, Henry, was a dairy farmer with sun-leathered skin and a booming voice that commanded the breakfast table, always doling out extra chores to me. Sophia's got the steady hands, while my older brother, Jake, got the glory of tractor rides and 4-H ribbons. Mom, Diane, a school cafeteria lady with a knack for smoothing feathers, would sigh over her coffee. Fair's not always equal, honey. It's about pulling your weight. Those words, meant to toughen, taught me to shoulder more. At 10, I was up at dawn mucking stalls so Jake could sleep in for football practice, my straight-A's a silent bid for the praise he earned with touchdowns. It wasn't malice, just the unspoken math of a family stretched thin by farm debts and my baby sister, Emily's, endless doctor visits for asthma. School became my proving ground. Teachers like Mrs. Harlan spotted my quiet grit, pulling me into peer tutoring where I'd coach struggling kids through fractions. Their aha smiles my secret high. But home echoed the imbalance. Holidays where Jake's college fund swelled while mine scraped from babysitting gigs. Puberty layered on the irony. Braces I paid half for with lawn mowing money. Proms attended solo because saving for your future matters more. I devoured books like The Giving Tree, romanticizing sacrifice as strength, vowing to be the mentor who lifts without ledger. College at Penn State on scholarships honed it. Marketing major, volunteering as a big sister to freshmen, dadding lightly, guys like college quarterback Tyler who fizzled when my study groups outlasted dates. Graduating at 22, I landed in Philadelphia at a boutique ad agency, junior copywriter at $42K, eyes wide with ambition. Little did I know, those seeds would sprout into a 30s thicket of generosity gone awry, where mentoring became my Achilles heel. The early career sprint blurred boundaries fast. By 26, promotions stacked. Account coordinator, then strategist, schmoozing clients over steak frites in Rittenhouse Square. I thrived on the alchemy, turning client chaos into campaigns that won Clio awards, but the real rush, guiding juniors. Enter Lisa, my first mentee, a wide-eyed intern I coached through her first pitch. When she soared, I glowed vicariously, ignoring my own stalled raise. Relationships flickered. A 2-year thing with accountant Greg ended over my 60-hour weeks, leaving no room for weekends away. Mom's calls brimmed with pride laced with worry. Don't give too much, Soph, men like a woman with her own light. But giving was my grammar. At 28, I jumped to a bigger firm in New York. Stayed Philly for roots. Senior manager at $85K, building a pod of talent, coffee-fueled debriefs my love language. Jake's wedding toast that year. Sophia's the rock. I beamed, blind to the erosion. My 30s loomed, promising peaks, but the valleys, they hid in the fine print of loyalty. Hitting 30 was a whirlwind wedding to David, a steady pharma rep with kind eyes and a laugh that cut through conference calls. We settled in a Brooklyn brownstone, me commuting to a midtown agency merger that ballooned my role to VP of Client Strategy, $130K plus equity whispers. The merger chaos was catnip. Restructuring teams, I became the unofficial den mother, handpicking mentees like Rachel, a 26-year-old firecracker from Yale with raw talent but zero polish. You've got the spark. Let's fan it, I told her over salads at Pret, mapping her career like my own unfinished blueprint. Days blurred into strategy sessions where I'd rewrite her decks till midnight, vouching for her in exec meetings while my own ideas gathered dust. David noticed, "You're building their empires on your time." I'd wave it off with a kiss. It's investment. It'll pay. Family pressures piled on. Mom's health scare that year, a hip replacement leaving Emily juggling caregiving, my guilt-fueled flights home eating weekends. Jake, now a sales VP himself, texted, "Proud of you, sis, keep lifting." Rachel bloomed spectacularly. By 32, she was leading her first major account, a skincare line that exploded on TikTok, her name on the press release, mine buried in fine print. I mentored through it all. Mock negotiations in my office, therapy recs for her imposter syndrome, ironic, given my own creeping doubts. Self-discovery simmered in yoga classes post-work, where downward dogs unearthed the ache. Was I mothering my career because I delayed kids? David and I froze embryos at 31, a pragmatic pause amid my ascent. The agency thrived, but equity evaporated in team alignment emails. At 33, Rachel's promotion to director, skipping levels I'd clawed, stung subtly. Champagne toasts masked my skipped step. Relationships strained. David's late shifts mirroring mine, date nights reduced to Netflix queues, arguments over your work families stealing you. Mom's recovery calls urged balance. Don't be me, soft work widowed me from joy. But momentum's a drug. By 34, Rachel was my shadow success, and the bonus season, it brewed the storm. That winter, burnout bit harder. Sleepless nights scripting Rachel's keynotes, my own performance review a pat solid contributor. David suggested a sabbatical. I laughed, citing Jake's hustle or bust ethos. Therapy started sporadically, sessions unpacking childhood loads, the therapist, Laura, probing. Where's your reciprocity? I journaled affirmations. My worth isn't in their wins. Yet loyalty locked me in. Rachel confided merger rumors, layoffs looming, begging my advice. I pulled strings for her visibility. Family Easter that year, Emily's new baby announcement, my empty arms a quiet envy. When's your turn? Mom whispered. Soon, I promised. But the office vortex spun tighter, prepping the 2:47 a.m. implosion. Spring 2018, bonus time at the agency. A ritual of steak dinners and sealed envelopes. I'd logged 2,200 hours, mentored 3 promotions including Rachel's, landed the biggest client retention in firm history. Execs hyped record payouts. My $25K draft a gut punch. Appreciative of your stability, the note read, code for loyal workhorse. Rachel, I overheard in the break room, $85K for innovative leadership. Innovative. Her decks were my rewrites, her leads my networks. Fury fermented. Childhood flashes of Jake's unearned truck while I biked miles. At 35, mid-30s momentum stalling, this was the mirror, my sacrifices tokenized. I confronted HR at noon. Disparities glaring, mentorships invisible labor. Bland response. Market rates, team contributions. Evening drinks with David, I vented. He urged, value yourself, walk if it fits. Sleepless, I refreshed emails till 2 a.m., spotting Rachel's giddy LinkedIn update. Thrilled for the future, grateful. The math hit. Her bonus dwarfed mine despite my tenure. At 2:47 a.m., heels echoing in empty halls, I drafted the exit. Effective immediately, I resign. Grateful for lessons, time for new chapters. Sent. Code on, elevator descent a freefall, tears hot, heart pounding. Dawn broke over Manhattan, cabs honking like applause. David's text at 3:15. Home safe, I Ubered to our stoop, collapsing into his arms. I did it, I sobbed. Broke free. But freedom's first breath, choking on what-ifs. The fallout cascaded. Agency scramble, Rachel's panicked call at 7 a.m. Sophia, what happened? I muted, boundaries, my new Bible. Mom's worry. Job security's everything, rethink. Jake, bold, but bills don't quit. Self-doubt tsunami. Was I dramatic or deserved? Therapy ramped up, Laura affirming. Rage is revelation. At 35, childless still, the walkout cracked open cravings for equity, for ease. Relationships reknit. David and I in intensive counseling, unpacking my fixer role bleeding into us. My 30s pivot wasn't polish, it was purge. Months post-walkout blurred into survival mode. Severance stretched thin, freelance gigs cobbling $8K months, editing proposals for old contacts, ghostwriting exec bios. Brooklyn felt claustrophobic. We decamped to a Philly suburb rental, closer to family, David's job anchoring us. Isolation gnawed. Coffee runs solo, no water cooler wit. LinkedIn a minefield of where's Sophia? Pings. Rachel emailed apologies. You deserved better, I see now. Too late for trust, but fodder for forgiveness workshops I led pro bono. At 36, IVF thawed. Our daughter, Mia, conceived amid uncertainty, born in a blur of joy and jitters. Motherhood's anchor steadied the sway, her gurgles drowning doubt, but career void echoed. Who am I sans title? Journals filled. Self-discovery surged in the suburbs' quiet. Online courses in ethical leadership, a women's circle where I shared the 247 tale, nods rippling like validation. Controversies brewed internally. Friends like Lisa, my first mentee, now exec, opined, "You over-mentored, protect your lane." Jake concurred, "Loyalty's two-way." But Emily, post-baby, whispered, "Your walk, my permission slip." Relationships evolved. David promoted our marriage a deliberate dance, weekly check-ins, no more merged exhaustion. Family pressures shifted. Mom's hip healed, her admitting, "I favored Jake to shield you, wrong math." At 37, freelance coalesced. Equi-mentor consulting, coaching women on balanced advocacy, $120K year one, clients raving my real talk resets. Mia's first steps at our townhouse, her tiny hand in mine, mirrored my own stumbles. The wilderness wasn't wasteland. It was workshop, hammering 30s armor into 40s alloy. Growth accelerated. Podcast guest spots debating mentorship myths, a TEDx on the cost of invisible labor. But regrets flickered, missed 401K matches that what if of stayed and fought. Therapy mined it, childhood's unequal loads as blueprint, broken now by choice. By 38, the blueprint solidified. Equi-mentor hit $200K, a home office overlooking Philly's Schuylkill River, Mia in Montessori with playdates that doubled as networking. David and I welcomed son Theo, a surprise at my 39th. Chaos of bottles and bored calls, but joy's glue. Self-discovery deepened. Retreats in the Poconos, unpacking giver's guilt via somatic therapy, emerging with boundaries like muscle. Career controversies sparked. Clients questioning my soft approach. Won't it stall ambition? I'd counter, equity accelerates all. Rachel reemerged, now at a rival firm, seeking advice. I charged fairly, our coffee a closure circle. "You taught me to see you," she said, healing, not hate. Family dynamics danced. Jake's divorce that year, me mentoring him through custody, irony sweet. Mom's 70th bash, toasts to my reinvention, her eyes misty. "You fixed what I couldn't." Relationships bloomed. Date nights with David at jazz clubs, vulnerability our new foreplay. At 39, Equi-mentor's book deal. Lift without losing, mentoring on your terms. Amazon bestseller, validating the walkout as wisdom. But 30's end whispered warnings. Burnout's echo in Theo's colic nights, the pull to prove post-quit. My 40's dawned with Mia's kindergarten wave, a vow. Sustain, don't sacrifice. The 247, not rupture but rebirth. Now 40 from my Riverview desk, clients zooming gratitude, kids' artwork pinned like medals. I see the walkout as fulcrum. Equi-mentor at $350K, a team of 3 balanced mentees, my calendar sacred. Relationships rock solid. David's sabbatical this summer, family hikes in the Appalachians echoing childhood fields but equitable now. Self-growth? A practice, monthly reckoning rituals, journaling wins, sans what-ifs. Controversies linger externally, industry panels debating, quit culture, me advocating. Walkouts whisper truths boards ignore. Mom's legacy letter last month. Your bold broke my patterns for Mia. The $25K versus $85K. Catalyst, not curse, fueling a firm where bonuses breathe reciprocity. Legacy ripples, Mia's helper phase guided gently, help from wholeness. Theo's giggles, pure presence. The 2:47 a.m. wasn't end, it was encore, scripting a 40s of aligned ambition. As twilight paints the Schuylkill gold, I'm humbled by that impulsive exit, the rage that roared me right. At 35, undervalued and unseen, I walked for worth. At 40, I've woven it into wealth beyond wallets. The controversy, loyalty's limits, cling to core that clip you or claim your climb. What's your 2:47 moment, the stand that set you free? Share below, your sparks light ours. Thanks for Sophia's stories, like, subscribe, notify on. Till next, walk bold, love full. You're the mentor you needed.